Noah's day begins with the sound of rain tapping gently on the skylight. It's not a storm, just Portland saying good morning. He stretches slowly in his loft apartment above a plant shop in the Alberta Arts District. The room is filled with light filtered through hanging pothoes and tall fiddle-leaf figs. There's the scent of old books, fresh soil, and dark roast coffee from the stovetop mocha pot, already bubbling to life. Noah doesn't use an alarm clock. He lets the city wake him up. By 7:30 a.m., he's pedaling through misty streets on his weathered green bicycle. A canvas messenger bag hangs across his back, and his breath is visible in the early chill. On the way to his favorite cafe, he passes murals in alleys, poetry on bus stops, and a man playing saxophone under a bridge. Portland speaks softly, but always in color. He stops at a tiny cafe tucked between a vintage vinyl shop and a bookstore that only sells graphic novels. The barista greets him by name. Oat milk courtidou. Of course, he smiles. Noah sits near the window, notebook open. He watches the street like it's a theater. A dog in a yellow raincoat, a delivery person balancing 3 boxes and a latte, an older man handing out free haikus written on recycled paper. He writes a few thoughts, a poem, a list of ingredients for dinner. Then he rides again, this time toward Forest Park. The city shifts. Concrete gives way to towering fir trees, mossy trails, the smell of wet cedar. Portland is that kind of place, where you can go from an indie concert to a forest hike in 10 minutes. Noah jogs a few miles through the trees, then sits on a mossy bench overlooking the river. A hawk circles above. Below, the Willamette flows like memory. Back in town, it's Saturday, which means the Portland Saturday Market, sprawled under the Burnside Bridge. Noah walks among the booths, jewelry made from bicycle parts, screen-printed t-shirts with quotes from Kafka and Kendrick Lamar, hand-thrown mugs, kombucha on tap, and a man who paints animals wearing flannel. He buys a small watercolor of a fox holding a lantern. At a food truck, he orders vegan bao buns with kimchi. He sits on the riverfront, eating with his fingers, shoes off, listening to a folk band covering Radiohead. In the afternoon, he stops at Powell's City of Books. It's not just a bookstore. It's a universe. Rooms color-coded by genre. Stairs that creak in just the right way. A shelf that smells like 1993. Noah finds a used book on urban farming, and a zine about queer love letters from the 1980s. He buys both, plus a sticker that says read more, scroll less. Evening arrives with a golden hue. Noah meets friends at a rooftop garden on the east side. It's a community dinner. Someone brings homemade pasta, someone else brews beer. There's laughter. Talk of poetry slams and city council meetings. Someone pulls out a ukulele. Someone else juggles clementines. The sun sets behind Mt. Hood. Lights flicker on across the bridges. Later, back at home, Noah waters his plants. He feeds the sourdough starter on his kitchen counter. He lights a stick of cedar incense. The city outside hums like a vinyl record slowly turning. He writes one more line in his notebook. Today felt like art, messy, quiet, bright in places and full of rhythm. He smiles. And Portland listens, raining just a little more as if to say, "Good night, Noah."